there was somewhere along the journey, along your journey, where you stopped trusting yourself completely. There was somewhere along the journey where someone placed a belief into your mind that you began to embody and you began to live by. There was a point in time where you started believing the beliefs that everyone else told you about you, to the point where feelings of constriction would come into your body. There was like a pushing or pulling feeling where it's like you want to go in the direction that your soul is telling you to go in, that your intuition is pulling you towards, but you have all of these beliefs and these stories and these voices that have come from outside of you, from family, from friends, from acquaintances, from the community, that have told you how to act, how to behave, how to feel, and what to believe. Most importantly, about yourself. Hello, beautiful ladies, and hello, beautiful sisters. Welcome to Womb Aura, your healing sanctuary to align the mind, the body, the soul. My name is Crystal, and I will be here with you, guiding you today. If this is your first time here, welcome to this beautiful space. This is your sacred sanctuary. This is a safe space for you to come home to yourself. It is here in this space at Womb Aura that we really tap into our womb wisdom as women, but we also use the gateways of meditation, neuroscience, and quantum physics to really create a holistic picture of how we can reach our highest potential in this lifetime as women. In today's episode, we are going to talk about really coming home to yourself, honing in on your trust within yourself, and really how to work in sync with your cycle, the cycle that God has given you, that nature has intended for women to live, to eat, to breathe by. In this masculinized society that works extremely well for men, we have been forced to fit in. We have been forced to live and eat and breathe like men. We have been forced to think that in order for us to feel worthy, in order for us to make a difference in society, we need to align ourselves, or actually misalign ourselves, and live in the cyclical nature of a man, in the masculine energy. And while we all have this feminine and masculine energy, we have been programmed to be so masculinized and to diverge away from our femininity, away from our softness, away from our nurturing and compassionate essence. And instead, we have been taught to hustle and to grind and to get shit done like a man does. And while that may work for a little bit, it will eventually catch up to you. And if it hasn't already, which maybe it has since this video is on your timeline, it eventually will, because you are living out of sync with God's intention for you, with your femininity, with your nature. It's not about being only in the feminine or only in the masculine, but instead it's about diverging the two. It's about coming into harmony. It's about coming into balance with both sides of who you are. And men actually should do the same thing. But we've been taught that in order to be successful, we need to be on one side of the spectrum. We need to push our feelings aside and only hustle and grind. We need to, instead of being in this soft feminine essence, we need to get shit done the way a man does. And it's just not how we are built, and it's not how we've been intended to live. So in this video, I'm really going to hone in on your feminine nature, on our feminine nature as beautiful, magnificent women. I want to actually start this video off a little bit more with a meditation, with helping you to align mind, body, and spirit. When I say mind, body, and spirit, I'm talking about taking everything that's in the mind and embodying that. Taking everything that's in the body and feeling what that feels like. Taking everything that's in the mind and body and embodying it with aligned action. And then taking everything that's in the mind, the body, so the knowledge, the wisdom, the activation, and turning that into soul, becoming that. And when I say becoming this, I talk a lot about identity shifting on this channel. When I talk about identity shifting and becoming something, it's not about becoming something that you already are not. It's not about becoming something that isn't already within you. It's about returning home to your soul. It's about becoming so attuned to your soul that nothing in the physical world, no emotion has power over you, because in nature, you know who you are. You are so attuned to your God energy. You are so attuned to your God mind, to your God body, that you know deep within you, there is an innate, infinite consciousness that operates through you at every moment of every single day. You may call this God, you may call this the universe. I call it everything, because it really is everything. But you will come to a space, and I pray to guide you to a space where you are one with your soul, that you walk around as a woman with your head held high, knowing that you are a goddess, that God is within you, that you are the ocean, that you are also a drop in the ocean of consciousness, but you are infinite consciousness. And so, if you feel comfortable, I gently ask that you close your eyes, you ground your feet to the floor, allowing yourself to just be in this space, embodying exactly where you are in this present moment, knowing that you are guided every single moment of every single day, that you are loved in so many ways. I love all parts of you. I love your mind. I love the way you think. And I want you to also come into this space of infinite love for all parts of you. What does that actually feel like? When you remove all of the mask, when you remove all of the judgment, all of the criticism, especially the internal judgment and criticism, everything outside of you dissipates. The judgment from the outside of you, the criticism, the opinions of others, it dissipates. Because deep within yourself, you have cultivated a fountain of infinite glory that continues to pour life into you. Every single thought that you think, feeling that you feel, action that you take is so aligned to your soul's calling and purpose that nothing outside of you has power over you, because you are one with God consciousness that lives and dwells within you and is asking and begging for you to come into alignment with it. Take a deep breath here, allowing the rib cage to expand, holding the breath at the top, sending that energy to the pineal gland, your third eye, focusing this energy on the center of your forehead, and gently exhaling. Continuing this breath at your own pace, I want to read to you something that I wrote. The purpose of today's video is to help you realize that the woman you are in search of becoming, the feeling that you are chasing, the external world you are trying to perfect to fill that empty void within you, the toxicity you put up with knowing that you deserve better, the habits, thoughts, and emotions that you know are time to surrender, are all remnants that serve one purpose and one purpose of all: to lead you back home to yourself. The answers you are seeking, prayers you are praying, wishes you are wishing, visions you are envisioning are already within you. You lost yourself in the process of trying to please others, wearing the good girl mask to keep everyone else around you happy when parts of you were shattering within. And now, your soul is fed up. She is so tired of being someone that she isn't, believing the stories that weren't hers to begin with. And so, she led you here, right where you were meant to be, at a place that will do the very thing you are being called to do. And that is to cultivate a sanctuary of truth within yourself. Welcome home, dear one. We have been waiting for you. Allowing those words to penetrate the mind, the body, the soul. Finding stillness and grounding into this moment, knowing you are God consciousness and you are finding your way back home. Forgiving yourself for the past, letting go of worrying about the future, because in this present moment is where all of the answers lie, where all of the peace and the joy and the happiness exist. Pay attention to the little nuances of the body, the tingling sensations, the earth beneath your feet, and the heaven above that connects your crown to God consciousness. Taking one more inhale together. Holding this breath at the top. Bringing to your imagination what you want to let go of in the next exhale. And in 3, 2, 1, we let go. And when you are ready, gently opening the eyes. If you feel called, grabbing a journal, grabbing your pen, because we are going to learn how to come home to your feminine energy and sync with your natural rhythm, your cyclical nature that you have been created and intended to live by. So first and foremost, there was somewhere along the journey, along your journey, where you stopped trusting yourself completely. There was somewhere along the journey where someone placed a belief into your mind that you began to embody and you began to live by. There was a point in time where you started believing the beliefs that everyone else told you about you, to the point where feelings of constriction would come into your body. There was like a pushing or pulling feeling where it's like you want to go in the direction that your soul is telling you to go in, that your intuition is pulling you towards, but you have all of these beliefs and these stories and these voices that have come from outside of you, from family, from friends, from acquaintances, from the community, that have told you how to act, how to behave, how to feel, and what to believe. Most importantly, about yourself. It is within this process of conditioning of your mind, that you lost your sense of self, that you lost trust in yourself, that you lost the belief in yourself, and that you lost who you were. And if this resonates, that's okay. It's okay to come home to this understanding and this truth. It is okay to be at a place where you may feel like you're at a crossroads right now. You may feel like you know what to do next, or maybe you don't even know what to do next, but you know something has to change. And I applaud you for that. I applaud you for being here. And so let's talk about this subconscious programming a little bit. So our subconscious mind is the part of our consciousness where all of our memories are stored, all of our limiting behaviors, beliefs, habits, and actions are stored. For example, if you wake up in the morning and you have the intention to start your day off strong, you have the intention to wake up, go to the gym, but when the alarm clock goes off, you hit snooze, or you lay in bed for an extra 15-20 minutes just scrolling through social media. There's in that moment, in these little nuances, I want you to start paying attention to the way your body feels. What is your intuition telling you to do in the moment that you're not listening to? How does your body feel? Does it feel freeing to hit snooze? Does it feel freeing to scroll? when you've made a plan to better yourself, or does it feel constricting? If it feels constricting, this is a limitation that you are unconsciously choosing to live by. This is a part of your subconscious programming. However, this is one situation. Let's take it all the way back from 0 years old. You have been being subconsciously programmed and conditioned to live a specific way, to act a specific way, to think a specific way since you were born. I'm 33 right now. So 33 years of my life, I have been being conditioned to be and act and feel a specific way from the outside world. However, our most prominent conditioning occurs between the ages of 0 through 14 years old. The reason why this is because as the brain is developing, and we are developing into our teenage self, into our adult self, the brain itself is in a state of theta. So theta is a brainwave frequency that, think of theta as the meditative state. It is the imaginative state. It is the state in your meditation where all becomes one. It is the most programmable state that the brain is in order for you to learn, to grow, to pick up habits, and to become the woman that you are today. So between the ages of 0 through 14, the brain is prominently in that programmable, imaginative theta state. So that means that between the ages of 0 through 14 years old, everything that was occurring in your environment, the household that you lived in, the environment that you grew up in, the habits that you were taught, the beliefs that you were taught about yourself and the world around you, the way you were taught to act, the way you were taught to respond, the way you were taught to react, the way you were taught to feel about specific situations between the ages of 0 through 14 years old are all ingrained in your subconscious mind. So let's say that 5-year-old grew up in an environment that was chaotic, where parents were always fighting about money. There was a lack of affection, emotional attunement within the household. That 27-year-old self who now wants to grow, who now wants to save money, who now wants to grow a 6-figure, 7-figure business. If you have not done the inner work, you will continue to subconsciously live from that 5-year-old little girl that was programmed by her environment to think, to feel, and to act a specific way. So I have a journaling prompt for you. And of course, these journaling prompts, because they are a little bit longer, they will be in the comments and the description box below. First journaling prompt. Reflecting on my childhood and teenage years. What beliefs about myself, others, and the world were instilled in me during that time? What messages did I receive about being a woman, especially in regard to career, work, relationships, family, and money? As I explore these thoughts, which of these beliefs truly resonate with who I am today? Which ones feel limiting, outdated, or not mine at all? How can I begin to release these beliefs that no longer serve me and choose empowering ones that align with my true self? So what are you believing? What are you feeling? How are you acting that doesn't even belong to you? So Now that you've kind of brought this to awareness, let's talk about actually living in tune with your cyclical nature. Let's talk about actually aligning the mind, body, and soul. Let's talk about stepping into your passion and your purpose as a spiritual being experiencing this human life. How do we do that as women to the best of our ability while also showing up, getting it done in that masculine energy, but in free flow? So in harmony with our femininity. How do we actually do this while also honoring our cycle, honoring our energy, honoring our need for solitude, space, and rest? So the first thing is knowing and understanding that as a woman, we go every month through cycles of life and death. So of course, as women, we have a menstrual cycle. Many women think that the menstrual cycle is only the time that you are actually physically bleeding. But the menstrual cycle is actually a 28-day to 35-day cycle that ranges from the moment that you bleed until the next month that you bleed. So it is from shedding, one moment of shedding to the next moment of shedding, which lasts for about 28 to 35 days, depending on the phases in between. So the first thing is I want you as a woman to begin tracking your cycle. So the next time that you shed or you bleed, I want you to note the date that is and exactly how you are feeling. Track your energy at this time. The moment that you start your shedding is the moment that you actually tap into your follicular phase. So the follicular phase, think about the follicular phase as the season of spring. So the follicular phase is the first phase of our cycle as women, and this is our spring. So think of spring as a time in nature where the flowers are blooming, the birds are chirping, the skies are beautiful and clear and blue. The weather is perfect. There's a little bit of a chill in the air. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. The sun is beaming. You walk outside, the leaves are bright green, the grass is tall. Everything around you is in abundance. The energy in the air is high. So in your follicular phase, which begins the day after your menstrual bleed ends, you are in bloom. This is the time for you to grow again. This is the time for you to plan. This is the time for you to look at your entire month. And what I mean by month is, I don't mean, is it the Gregorian calendar that we go by? I don't mean that type of month. That's a masculine way to live. When I say month, I'm talking about the day that your cycle started to the next month that your cycle will start again, that your bleed will start again. That is a feminine month. So for me right now, I'm recording this on October, I think it's 14th. My cycle started, my bleed started on October 12th. So I know that my month is now October 12th to about November 9th, November 12th, to make it easier, right? So that is my month. So when you are in your follicular phase, which also lasts between 13 to 14 days, you are in bloom. You're growing again. Hormonally, estrogen is rising again. And the point of the follicular phase is to rebuild the endometrium layer within the uterus. So where you are literally rebuilding, you are reblooming. You've just come out of your menstrual phase, which was a period of rest, rejuvenation, deep introspection, a period of hibernation. So now you're coming into that bloom. You're a beautiful flower that is flowering and blooming her petals. Your colors are shining. You're bright, you're vibrant, your energy is high, it's abundant. So in your follicular phase, one thing that I do that you can bring into your life that I have also done to build trust within myself and to work in sync with my cycle is use my follicular phase, which is about 13 to 14 days, to plan out my entire month. That's the first thing that I do. So in my case, I run this business. So in my business, the Conscious Freedom Movement, everything is planned out in my follicular phase. The key here is detachment, because things will change and life is about ebb and flow. But in this phase, you want to ask yourself questions like, okay, what do I want the next month of my cycle to look like? What do I want the next month of my life to look like? Who is the woman that I want to become? What would feel good for me to bring to life in this cycle of my life? How would it feel good to move my body? Another thing about the follicular phase, as estrogen is rising, this is the phase where you really want to incorporate more cardio-based movement. You really want to get back into flow, into the body. Cardio could be in the forms of running. It could be in the forms of yoga, in the forms of swimming, in the form of dancing, boxing, Pilates, etc. However, honoring your energy means you're not going to go and do a CrossFit workout right now. It is not the time to do that. You are rebuilding. The next phase, so some practical tools that we can do in this phase are writing out your vision. So I did this not too long ago where I wrote out my life's vision. I wrote out my life's vision in the future. So I dated it to 2028. But when I wrote it in the present tense. I am a 7-figure business owner. I am XYZ. I am waking up to my husband and my beautiful 3 children and my beautiful dog. You know, I wrote it in 2028, but in the present tense. So that's something that is a great tool to apply to the follicular phase. Secondly is using visualization through meditation. This is a really fascinating point. So in the follicular phase, as you're planning out your month ahead, and you're asking yourself questions like, who do I want to become in this cycle, in this phase? I want you to actually close your eyes and sit with your feminine nature and your intuition and begin to visualize the best case scenario for your life. What you're actually doing is you are exercising something called your mirror neurons. Within the brain, specifically, I believe it's in the glial cells. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, within the brain, we have these mirror neurons that are activated by our environment. So, have you heard that term, you are the 5 people you become or you surround yourself with? That is literally because your mirror neurons are at work all of the time and will create new neuronal pathways to mimic your environment. However, when you are in visualization, the brain doesn't know the difference between what you're actually imagining and visualizing and what is occurring on the outside of you. And so your mirror neurons are at work. The more you do this visualization practice and exercise and you really begin visualizing the reality that you want to create for yourself within this next month, the more your mirror neurons will be working, and your brain will begin to create these neuronal pathways that are aligned with that vision. So that neuronal pathway, let's say it is a part of your vision is to go to the gym more. you will begin to create that visualization of you in the gym and working out and sweating and feeling good in your body. What's going to happen is the brain is going to begin to say, oh, okay, this is who we are now. Let's create this pathway. That pathway is then going to, the way this pathway is going to work is you're going to be taking action that are in alignment with that version of you, because you're literally physically and neurochemically becoming her. So use the process of visualization in the follicular phase and in actually all phases of your journey to really hone in on who you want to embody. The second phase we're going to talk about is luteal. Wait, no, that's incorrect. Why is this like this? Whoops. The second phase is ovulatory. I love my humanness. I love that I can make mistakes and just bounce back from it. I love that. So the second phase is ovulatory. Ovulatory is our summer phase, mainly because estrogen is still rising. Progesterone is now going to start rising. The body temperature is going to start rising. So in the summer phase, you have an increase in energy, sexual desire, body temperature. Think of this as the phase of fertility, because during the ovulatory phase is when a woman can actually get pregnant. Another thing I want to point out here is when we talk about the phases of life and I talk about pregnancy, for example, I'm not necessarily talking strictly about human life. I'm talking about your innate ability as a woman to create life. That life could be the version of you that you want to become. It can be a human life. It can be a creative venture. It can be a business. So in these phases, I want you to ask, what kind of life am I bringing forth into this earthly realm? What kind of life am I creating from my womb wisdom into this physical reality? In your ovulatory phase, estrogen is still rising, progesterone begins to rise. Fun thing about progesterone is that it helps to thicken and maintain the endometrium lining, the uterine lining. And progesterone plays a role in thickening and maintaining that uterine lining so it can literally house a safe space for that baby within the womb. So as you are in the ovulatory phase and you know that you are supported hormonally, right? You have this safe space within yourself. You have the hormones that are supporting you. I want you to ask, how can I create a safe space for my vision, my passion, and my purpose? And progesterone also plays a role on our mental health and acts as our antidepressant. It is nature's antidepressant. It interacts with specific GABA proteins within the brain and causes us to feel deeper senses of rest and relaxation. It is literally an anxiety, and it literally acts as an anxiolytic, which means just as a medication would help to reduce depression and anxiety, we have progesterone within the body that acts the same exact way. When in balance, you can literally produce enough of this hormone that acts as an antidepressant and helps to reduce anxiety, because you are a miracle worker. As a woman, you have this God consciousness already built within you. It's already innate within you. It is just about tuning in and coming home to this. It is about rebalancing and finding harmony as a feminine energy. During the ovulatory phase, it's really a great time to open up. So it's really a great time to network. It's really a great time to be in community. It's really a great time to get on social media if you are a business owner, let's say, and batch create your content. It's really a great time to open up your energy centers to giving and receiving information. It's a great time to be in communion with your vision, with your passion, your purpose, and the community around you. So a journaling prompt I have is, in this phase of peak energy, creativity, and outward expression, I reflect on the potential I feel within me. As I connect to the fertile energy of the ovulatory phase, where in my life am I ready to step into greater alignment with my vision and desires? How can I use this heightened sense of power and confidence to take bold, aligned action towards my goals? What areas of my life are calling for more visibility, authenticity, and self-expression? Where am I ready to be fully seen, both by myself and others, as I embody the woman I am becoming? How can I lean into the natural sense of connection and communication during this phase to nurture relationships that support my growth? Ovulatory is for opening up. Next is our luteal phase. So ovulatory, I forgot to mention, lasts between 3 to 4 days. So you just went through your follicular phase, which is about planning, visualizing, creating the vision board. It is about honing in on the vision. That's 13 to 14 days. Then you step into ovulatory. That is opening up. That is, you are being supported. You are being nurtured. You're building these relationships. You're embodying who you're becoming. You are living in your passion and your purpose. Your energy is high. You are reaching out to community. You're reaching out for help. You're getting in front of the camera. You're being seen in the way that you want to be seen. That lasts about 3 to 4 days. Next is our luteal phase. Again, lasts between 10 to 14 days. Think of luteal as fall. So you know that period in nature where you can feel the change in the environment. The sun's heat dwindles a little bit of a crisp wind enters the air. So fall is a period of winding down and preparing for a period of rest. Think of what animals are doing in the fall. They go to sleep earlier, they wake up a little bit later, they are starting to go into a period of hibernation. During your luteal phase is not the time to plant seeds. That's the follicular phase. During the luteal phase, that fall phase, it is really a time to do the deep inner work within whatever you are working towards. So let's say you're someone who is working towards becoming more healthy in the gym, in which there's actually an exercise regimen that we can use as women that are in sync with our cycles, which I will make a video on. But in the luteal phase, let's say you're really working towards your dream body, right? In this phase, when you're doing and wrapping up your gym sessions, you're really working on strength training in this phase. You're really working on wrapping things up in your business during this phase. You're making sure that all the content is getting pushed out. You're really operating in a space of work, but understanding that your energy levels will begin to dissipate as nature has intended. So hormonal changes that happen, progesterone continues to rise. When in balance, you should really feel relaxed. You should feel embodied. You should really feel at home and grounded in your body. Because of that increased calming effect of the mind and the body from that progesterone. Your body, I love this. I wrote, your body is naturally preparing for its stillness in winter, which is your menstrual phase. Also, in luteal, Your testosterone levels are also heightened. So if you are intending to get that dream body, this is a great time for strength training, right? Taking advantage of that. It's really a time to work and complete all of your open projects. It's really a time to zip everything up so you can feel that sense of completion at the end of this phase. So as you enter this phase, I want you to ask yourself questions like, when I return to the vision I am crafting for my life and the belief system I am consciously recreating, what can I do to nourish and support this vision in a meaningful way within this phase? In what areas of my life do I feel resistance, hesitation, or doubt? And how can I provide myself with the emotional, mental, physical nourishment needed to sustain this vision during times of challenge or self-doubt? What small, intentional actions or habits can I cultivate that will strengthen my belief in my vision and align my daily life with the future I am creating? What resources, people, or practices can I lean into to support me on this journey? In this phase of your life, or this phase of the cycle, it's really about finding closure and doing so in a way that works for you. Do I need to receive more support? Do I need to have deeper conversations? Do I need to maybe retreat more in solitude, etc.? So luteal is really about honing in on closing this chapter of your life, honoring it and celebrating it. So we've gone through follicular phase, planning the vision, planning the vision and also working in the vision. Ovulatory phase, very high energy, we're very fertile. We are working in the vision. We're working with our feminine energy. We're really pushing projects out. We know our energy's high. We're talking to others. We're networking. Luteal phase, we are closing this chapter. We're really looking at our life's path. We're really looking back at the journey that we've created, the vision. We're honing in on it. We're feeling good about it. We're celebrating it, while also understanding that at the end of this luteal phase, we'll be entering a phase of rest, relaxation, which is our menstrual bleed. So that's the last phase, which is our menstrual phase, which, of course, hormones are naturally going to decline. So that estrogen and that progesterone and that testosterone that was giving you all of that energy now comes to a decline. It comes to a stop. So this is not a period, pun intended, this is not a period to do the deep work. It's not a period to be out in the world. It's not a period to be hustling and grinding. It's not a period to be strength training. It's not a period to be in communion with everyone around you. It's a period to retreat. It's a period of deep introspection. If you are a business owner, you could use the menstrual phase to rest, relax. Well, that's all women. But let's say you're a business owner. This is a great time to actually do administrative work, the type of work where you're not really so focused on using so much mental energy, but instead you're really just honing into your body. Something I did this last menstrual phase a few days ago was I did a reflection of my month. I write everything down in a calendar. That's my masculine structure that allows my feminine to flow. So as I write everything down, I was able to look back at my month and say, okay, what did we do that actually worked? What didn't work? Where can I celebrate? What emotions were dominant and that I was grounded in? So in this time, as I enter this menstruation, I recognize it as a sacred moment of release and renewal. This is a phase where my body naturally lets go of what is no longer needed. In what areas of my life am I holding onto something that no longer serves me? Back to our first point of trusting yourself again. This is a great time to ask yourself, what emotions and beliefs and actions am I holding onto that no longer serve me, that don't even come from me? Use your menstrual phase as a moment of deep introspection. If you still work a traditional job, or own a business, see if you can take time off from work to a day or two to actually honor this part of your journey, to come into your soul, to come into your mission. This is when your intuition is heightened. So this is a time as a woman to really hone into your feminine energy and nature and honor that your body is so miraculous that it does the shedding for you. And as you shed, breathe into this and let go of what no longer serves you. Beautiful ladies. And so, as we wrap up this video, I want you to embody the knowledge that was shared and begin asking yourself, how can I really become more in tune with my feminine energy? How can I honor her? How can I grow with her? How can I begin trusting myself more by working with the cycles that nature has intended for me? Until next time, ladies, and remember that the freedom that you seek starts within. Namaste. I love you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye for now.